All right, welcome into the mid-morning update as we are taking a look at our weather impacts for the next 3 days. We are looking at Sunday or Saturday being the highest impact day over these next 3 days. Of course, the big weather story is going to be the cold starting tomorrow, which is why we're in the orange, and then the cold and snow, which is why we're in the red on Saturday. Sunday, just cold and the aftermath of the snow if we were going to go out on the fourth day. But just quickly going through what to expect for today, because it is our final day of mild temperatures and lots of sunshine for the area, so hopefully you can take advantage of it. Today is the day to make sure you are preparing, that you need to run any errands that you have to do. You'll be fine tomorrow snowfall wise. I don't expect much in the way of snow during the day tomorrow, which we'll take a look at in our computer models here in just a second, but it's going to be awfully cold.
We're in the 20s still in most spots, but dropping off into the teens right there just north of Hiawatha. So we're dry tonight. It's just cold tomorrow morning at the bus stop. The snow begins tomorrow evening. It will cause widespread travel issues and extremely cold conditions. The wind chill will be dangerously cold, at least through Sunday, probably even through Monday. Checking the radar, Prairie Band Casino and Resort Live Storm Tracker, nothing doing yet. Zooming way out. The storm isn't showing up on the radar just yet, but 24 hours from now it will be obvious, and it's going to be a very widespread, big winter storm across the area. This is
Jeremy, thanks. And we know at 6 tonight that community partners are right now in Topeka rolling out their plans to open warming shelters ahead of this weekend's winter storm. 13's Callie Holthouse is up first tonight. She followed along as outreach teams shared the information with people who are homeless in the capital city.
The Topeka Rescue Mission, along with its various community partners, are preparing to open 3 warming centers across the capital city, starting at 12 noon on Friday, January 23rd. The Topeka Rescue Mission and Street Dog Coalition will be open 24 hours, and the New Hope Food Pantry will be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
There, you might look out the window and think it's really not that bad outside this morning, but the snow is still coming down. And if you look, we are along Highway 24 and North Kansas Avenue. The snow is sticking to the roads. There hasn't been a whole lot of traffic out this morning, but the folks who are out are taking it slow because there is snow covering the road. It is a nice light fluffy snow, which, you know, it's good news for you if you're going to be out shoveling today, but the problem here is there's a little bit of wind, and so that light fluffy snow is going to easily blow across the highways and the streets if you get in a spot where it's kind of exposed and the wind is there. And as you can see, it is sticking to the roads, and so we have seen crews out today. A city snowplow just came through a short time ago. We have a lot of other crews. KDOT crews have been out as well. I talked to a Topeka Police watch commander, and he said so far so good. No major trouble spots to report. However, it's still early. Not a lot of folks are out and about yet, so as folks do, they can anticipate that we might start seeing some of those fender benders popping up. Most area law enforcement agencies are in their what they call their emergency accident reporting procedures. That means if you get in a fender bender, just exchange information with the other driver, report it to law enforcement at a later time. If the vehicles are disabled, if someone is injured, if it's a drunk driving situation, then they will come out and respond immediately. But otherwise, again, the emergency accident reporting procedures, you just come into law enforcement later. The temperature is going to be the big issue as we go throughout the day. It is frigid out here, so lots of layers. Stay inside if you can. It's also going to mean that that snow that's on the roads isn't exactly going to melt away on its own, so it's going to be around a while. So that also means limit your own time outside. That's exactly what we are going to do. We're going to get inside. I'll tell you what, I've been having some hot coffee to keep warm, but Claire, I know you prefer iced coffee, so I've got my mug from Wisconsin because that's what it feels like out here today, and we're going to see if I can make a little iced coffee before we check back in with you at 8:30.
We're on your side this morning with all the details you need to know about this winter storm. 13's Melissa Bruner is bearing the cold. Let's check in once again. Melissa, how's it feeling out there?
The snow actually has really picked up out here in about the past half hour. We are at Highway 24 North Kansas Avenue. I poured this mug of coffee about a half hour ago. It's not totally icy yet, but there is some definite slushiness in there and frostiness around the rim. You can think of this uninsulated mug a little bit like your skin if it's not covered up in this cold weather that we're having today. When you've got 0-degree air temperatures, less than a half hour for that exposed skin to have some frostbite set in. And when you've got this wind like we do today, that means you're talking about 10 to 15 minutes before you are going to be seeing frostbite in this kind of a temperature and wind chill out there. So definitely cover up. Do not spend a lot of time outdoors today. If you are outside and you noticed any of that numbing, that tingly feeling in your skin, maybe the skin color is changing, that's a sign that you've got some exposure injury going on. So get inside right away. As for the roads, you do not want to get stuck out in this air temperature when the roads are like this, and should you have an accident. They are completely snow and ice packed out here. We have been seeing the road crews work, but you got a couple of things going on. You've got the wind blowing this light snow across. The snow is sticking to the road, and it is super cold out here. So even if they would be putting down some ice melt, it is so cold, it's really not going to work. So stay off the roads today. Let the crews do their work. Emergency accident reporting procedures are in effect for all the area law enforcement. That means if it's a fender bender, exchange information, report it later on. They're only going to respond to those accidents where the vehicles can't be moved. Maybe there's some impaired driving or there are some injuries, because they need to prioritize today as well. So sit tight. The closings are right there on the screen. There's really no need to go out today.
My name is Aja Carter, and I'm here at the WIBW Digital News Center, typically here with your web headlines, but today I'd like to do a little something different. We here at WIBW have been keeping our website updated with the latest on all things weather throughout this weekend, where you can find your forecast, you can find some resources out here. So I just wanted to give you all a quick tour of some of the things that we have available for you. I'll give you a look here in just a second. Here we are. So welcome to WIBW.com. Okay, so pretty much everything you'll need, you'll see right here on the home page. Up here in the banner, as you can see, we already have some winter resources available. Winter Storm up here will take you to the latest videos that we've had. This is including forecast, any stories having to do with weather, a couple of stories that we did yesterday regarding weather. So if you wanted to take a quick glance there, you can do that. And of course, up here, as always, in that red banner, we always have the weather page right here. So here you'll find a breakdown of our meteorologist will add in a little paragraph or so as to what you can expect for the day. You can kind of look at those specific temperatures as we move throughout the hours of the day.
If you have to trek out this evening for any reason, the Kansas Department of Transportation is urging drivers to use caution. 13's Michaela Kelly is live outside to show us the current conditions and share some tips from KDOT. Michaela, how are things looking now?
Hey there, Callie. Well, I can say for sure that I myself am very excited to cozy up back inside after this. Now, it may not have been the snowmageddon some of us thought it could be here today, but it is still coming down. I'll let you take a look here behind me. And I just checked my phone. It is about 5 degrees, but feels like it's in the negatives. So due to these conditions and especially these frigid temperatures, KDOT is reminding drivers to be extremely cautious should you need to head out tonight or tomorrow.
I think it didn't snow as heavy as what we thought they were, as rapidly. It's kind of a nice slow accumulation versus just dumping. So that helps us a little bit not to keep up with it.
Just because it's more manageable for crews doesn't mean you should be out driving unless absolutely necessary. But if you are heading out, be cautious that even if the roads look drivable, they may be very slick.
You need to be prepared for that. Take your time. Transition areas where you get off on ramps or intersections, very vital that you start slowing down way in advance.
The biggest concern for this storm specifically is the dangerously low temperatures and wind chills.
If you were to have something happen and end up stuck somewhere, when you're talking wind chills in the teens and 20 below zero, that can be pretty detrimental on a person. And if you're not prepared for that in your, with emergency kit or at least a cell phone you can call for help, I mean, that's very vital.
Studebaker says that when winter weather blows in, CanDrive is the most valuable resource for every resident of the Sunflower State.
Because it tells you what the condition to expect on the road, whether they're partly or spotty or completely or closed for that matter. We've seen that before. So it gives you something to prepare for on your journeys, particularly if you're traveling very far, as to what you might be driving into and what to expect.
If you have not done so already, make sure your cars are not parked in the road. KDOT said this is the best way to help make sure those plows can get through quickly and efficiently. Everyone out there, layer up, stay warm, and stay safe.
This is 13 News First Alert Weather.
A large winter storm is currently bearing across much of the country from our Prairie Band Casino Resort live storm tracker. And as we zoom in on northeastern Kansas, a heavy band is currently over areas like Topeka and Lawrence right now along the I-70 corridor. 1 degree right now in Topeka, 1 degree in Emporia, 0 in Manhattan, -2 out in Concordia right now. And
no need to go outside to check how it feels. We've got the answer for you here on WIBW. 13's Jonah Kahn is live. Jonah, how you doing out there?
Yeah, hi Claire. I'm here out at 10th Street, just a bit east of Gage Boulevard. Many of those main roads are now a bit clear. You know, still exercise caution. However, you can see here it's still clear. However, on the other side of me, in those residential areas, not so clear yet. We still have a bit of work to do. Now, I know many of you are also going to be out there this morning shoveling, so I wanted to provide you with some tips. So obviously, first things first, like me, dress warm. And this is a physical activity, not necessarily a sport. But because you're doing that physical activity, you're going to want to hydrate and stretch. Now, first things first, when you get out there, you're going to want to make sure you're bending with your knees. Don't use that back. Don't throw out that back before work tomorrow. And of course, you're going to want to push instead of lifting. However, if you do have to lift, you are going to want to keep it light on that shovel and just toss it over. Now, remember to go slow and take many breaks if needed. And look out for your own body, listen to your body. I think that's about all I have with those tips. I'm going to hand it back to you, Claire. I still got a bit of work out here.
Sounds good, Jonah. We'll see you in just a couple hours.